local attractions or scenery. These are often open-top buses, but can also be regular buses or coaches. In local sightseeing, City Sightseeing is the largest operator of local tour buses, operating on a franchised basis all over the world. Specialist tour buses are also often owned and operated by safari parks and other theme parks or resorts. Longer distance tours aerial carried out by bus, either on a turn-up-and-go basis or through a tour operator, and usually allow disembarkation from the bus solo touring of sites of interest on foot. These may be day trips or longer excursions incorporating hotel stays. Tour buses often carry a tour guide, although the driver or a recorded audio commentary may also perform this function. The tour operator may be a subsidiary of a company that operates buses and coaches for other uses, or an independent company that charters buses or coaches. Commuter transport operators may also use their coaches to conduct tours within the target city between the morning and evening commuter transport journey. Buses and coaches are also a common component of the wider package holiday industry, providing private airport transfers, in addition to general airport buses, and organized tours and day trips for holidaymakers. And the package. Tour buses can also be hired as chartered buses by groups for sightseeing at popular holiday destinations. These private tour buses may offer specific stops, such as all the historical sites, or allow the customers to choose their own itineraries. Tour buses come with professional and informed staff and insurance, and maintain state-governed safety standards. Some provide other facilities like entertainment units, luxurious reclining seats, large scenic windows, and even lavatories. Public long-distance coach networks are also often used as a low-cost method of travel by students or young people traveling the world. Some companies such as Top Deck Travel were set up specifically to use buses to drive the Hippie Trail or travel to places such as North Africa. In many tourist or travel destinations, a bus is part of the tourist attraction, such as the North American tourist trolleys, London's AEC Route Master Heritage Routes, or the customized buses of Malta, Asia, and the Americas. Another example of tourist stops is the homes of celebrities, such as tours based near Hollywood. There are several such services between 6,000 and 7,000 Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles. Student transport. U.S. school bus. In some countries, particularly the U.S. and Canada, buses used to transport school children have evolved into a specific design with specified mandatory features. American states have also adopted laws regarding motorist conduct around school buses, including large fines and possibly prison for passing a stopped school bus in the process of loading or offloading children passengers. These school buses may have school bus yellow livery and crossing guards. Other countries may mandate the use of seat belts. As a minimum, many countries require a bus carrying students to display a sign, and may also adopt yellow liveries. Student transport often uses older buses cascaded from service use, retrofitted with more seats or seat belts. Student transport may be operated by local authorities or private contractors. Schools may also own and operate their own buses for other transport needs, such as class field trips, or transport to associated sports, music, or other school events. Private charter. Due to the costs involved in owning, operating, and driving buses and coaches, much bus and coach use comes from the private hire of vehicles from charter bus companies, either for a day or two or on a longer contract basis, where the charter company provides the vehicles and qualified drivers. Charter bus operators may be completely independent businesses, or charter hire may be a subsidiary business of a public transport operator that might maintain a separate fleet or use surplus buses, coaches, and dual-purpose coach-seated buses. Many private taxicab companies also operate larger minibus vehicles to cater for group fares. Companies, private groups, and social clubs may hire buses or coaches as a cost. An example of a private bus operating for Buswest in Perth effective method of transporting a group to an event or site, such as a group meeting, racing event, or organized recreational activity such as a summer camp. Schools often hire charter bus services on regular basis for transportation of children to and from their homes. Chartered buses are also used by education institutes for transport of conventions, exhibitions, and field trips. Entertainment or event companies may also hire temporary shuttles buses for transport at events such as festivals or conferences. Party buses are used by companies in a similar manner to limousine hire, for luxury private transport to social events or as a touring experience. Sleeper buses are used by bands or other organizations that tour between entertainment venues and require mobile rest and recreation facilities. Some couples hire preserved buses for their wedding transport, instead of the traditional car. Buses are often hired for parades or processions. Victory parades are often held for triumphant sports teams, who often tour their hometown or city in an open-top bus. Sports teams may also contract out their transport to a team bus, for travel to away games, tow competition or to a final event. These buses are often specially decorated in a livery matching the team colors. Private companies often contract out private shuttle bus services, for transport of their customers or patrons, such as hotels, amusement parks, university campuses, or private airport transfer services. The shuttle usage can be as transport between locations, or to and from parking lots. High-specification luxury coaches are often chartered by companies for executive or VIP transport. Charter buses may also be used in tourism and for promotion. See Tourism and Promotion sections. Private ownership. Police bus in Taipei, Taiwan. Many organizations, including the police, not-for-profit, social or charitable groups with a regular need for group transport may find it practical or cost-effective to own and operate a bus for their own needs. These are often minibuses for practical, tax and driver licensing reasons, although they can also be full-size buses. Cadet Scout groups or other youth organizations may also own buses. Companies such as railroads, construction contractors, and agricultural firms may own buses to transport employees to and from remote job sites. Specific charities may exist to fund and operate bus transport, usually using specially modified mobility buses or otherwise accessible buses. See Accessibility section. Some use their contributions to buy vehicles and provide volunteer drivers. Airport operators make use of special airside airport buses for crew and passenger transport in the secure airside parts of an airport. Some public authorities, police forces, and military forces make use of armor buses where there is a special need to provide increased passenger protection. The United States Secret Service acquired two in 2010 for transporting dignitaries needing special protection. 22. Police departments make use of police buses for a variety of reasons, such as prisoner transport, officer transport, temporary detention facilities, and as command and control vehicles. Some fire departments also use a converted bus as a command post. 23. While those in cold climates might retain a bus as a heated shelter at fire scenes. 24. Many are drawn from retired school or service buses. Promotion. Advertisement on a bus. Buses are often used for advertising, political campaigning, public information campaigns, public relations, or promotional purposes. These may take the form of temporary charter hire of service buses or the temporary or permanent conversion and operation of buses, usually of second-hand buses. Extreme examples include converting the bus with displays and decorations or awnings and fittings. Interiors may be fitted out for exhibition or information purposes with special equipment or audio-visual devices. Bus advertising takes many forms, often as interior and exterior adverts and all-over advertising liveries. The practice often extends into the exclusive private hire and use of a bus to promote a brand or product, appearing at large public events, or touring busy streets. The bus is sometimes staffed by promotions personnel, giving out free gifts. Campaign buses are often specially decorated for a political campaign or other social awareness information campaign, designed to bring a specific message to different areas, or used to transport campaign personnel to local areas /meetings. Exhibition buses are often sent to public events such as fairs and festivals for purposes such as recruitment campaigns, for example by private companies or the armed forces. Complex urban planning proposals may be organized into a mobile exhibition bus for the purposes of public consultation. Goods transport. In some sparsely populated areas, it is common to use buses with a cargo area to transport both passengers and cargo at the same time. They are especially common in the Nordic countries. Around the world. Trailer bus. Historically, the types and features of buses have developed according to local needs. Buses were fitted with technology appropriate to the local climate or passenger needs, such as air conditioning in Asia, or cycle mounts on North American buses. The bus types in use around the world where there was little mass production were often sourced second-hand from other countries such as the Malta bus, and buses in use in Africa. Other countries such as Cuba required novel solutions to import restrictions, with creation of the Camel bus, a specially manufactured trailer bus. After the Second World War, manufacturers in Europe and the Far East, such as Mercedes-Benz buses and Mitsubishi Fuso, expanded into other continents, influencing the use of buses previously served by local tips. Use of buses around the world has also been influenced by colonial associations or political alliances between countries. Several of the Commonwealth nations followed the British lead and sourced buses from British manufacturers, leading to a prevalence of double-decker buses. Several Eastern Bloc countries adopted trolleybus systems, and their manufacturers such as Trolsa exported trolleybuses to other friendly states. In the 1930s, Italy designed the world's only triple-decker bus for the busy route between Rome and Tivoli that could carry 88 passengers. It was unique not only in being a triple-decker but having a cigarette smoking compartment on the third level. 25. The buses to be found in countries around the world often reflect the quality of the local road network, with high-floor resilient truck-based designs prevalent in several less developed countries where buses are subject to tough operating conditions. Population density also has a major impact, where dense urbanization such as in Japan and the Far East has led to the adoption of high-capacity long multi-axle buses, often double-deckers, while South America and China are implementing large numbers of articulated buses for bus rapid transit schemes. Bus expositions. Eurobus Expo is a trade show, which is held biennially at the UK's National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham. As the official show of the Confederation of Passenger Transport, the UK's trade association for the bus, coach and light rail industry, the 3-day event offers visitors from Europe and beyond their chance to see and experience the very latest vehicles and product and service innovations right across the industry. BIS World Cartridge in Cartridge, Belgium, is the leading bus trade fair in Europe. It is also held biennially. Use of retired buses. Retired bus in Israel used as a to truck most public or private buses and coaches, once they have reached end of their service with one or more operators, are sent to Furking Yard for breaking up for scrap and spare parts. Some buses which are not economical to keep running as service buses are often converted for use other than revenue-earning transport. Much like old cars and trucks, buses often pass through a dealership where they can be bought privately or at auction. Bus operators often find it economical to convert retired buses to as permanent training buses for driver training, rather than taking a regular service bus out of use. Some large operators have also converted retired buses into tow bus vehicles, to act as tow trucks. With the outsourcing of maintenance staff and facilities, the increase in company health and safety regulations, and the increasing curb weights of buses, many operators now contract their towing needs to a professional vehicle recovery company. Some buses that have reached the end of their service that are still in good condition are sent for export to the countries. Some retired buses have been converted to static or mobile cafes, often using historic buses as a tourist attraction. There are also catering buses, buses converted into a mobile canteen and break room. These are commonly seen at external filming locations to feed the cast and crew, and at other large events to feed staff. Another use is as an emergency vehicle, such as high-capacity ambulance bus or mobile command center. A retired bus is used for an ambulance bus in Toronto. Some organizations adapt and operate play buses or learning buses to provide a playground or learning environments to children who might not have access to proper play areas. An ex-London AEC route master bus has been converted to a mobile theatre and catwalk fashion show. 26. Some buses meet a destructive end by being entered in bang races or at demolition derbies. A larger number of old retired buses have also been converted into mobile holiday homes and campers. Bus preservation. A preserved AEC Regal 6 operated formerly by the Metropolitan Transport Trust in Perth rather than being scrapped or converted for other uses. Sometimes retired buses are saved for preservation. This can be done by individuals, volunteer preservation groups or charitable trusts, museums, or sometimes by the operators themselves as part of a heritage fleet. These buses often need to be restored to their original condition and will have their livery and other details such as internal notices and roll scenes restored to be authentic to a specific time in the bus's history. Some buses that undergo preservation are rescued from a state of great disrepair, but others enter preservation with very little wrong with them. As with other historic vehicles, many preserved buses either in a working or static state form part of collections of transport museums. Additionally, some buses are preserved so they can appear alongside other period vehicles in television and film. Working buses will often be exhibited at rallies and events, and they are also used as charter buses. While many preserved buses are quite old or even vintage, in some cases relatively new examples of a bus type can enter restoration. In-service examples are still in use by other operators. This often happens when a change in design or operating practice, such as the switch to one-person operation or low-floor technology, renders some buses redundant while still relatively new. Modification as railway vehicles. See also: buses portalucan, transport portal coach, bus, bicycle carrier, bus mounted bike racks, bus spotting, bus station, cutaway bus, dollar van, horse bus, intercity bus, intercity bus driver. List of fictional buses.
Good. Let's stop the video splits in 30 seconds. Let's keep now at 7 p.m. I don't feel so well. I have a little headache, so I need to make some video in my language Danish. But I need a break, so I'm gonna stop the video.